بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد قد قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث من صلى علي واحدة صلى الله عليه بها عشرا أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Respected friends, Alhamdulillah, the day of Jumu'ah is always an auspicious day. We may feel it strange and feel down about the fact that the masajid are closed during the pandemic and we are unable to go to the masjid for Salatul Jumu'ah. Nevertheless, it is an auspicious day, whether the masajid are open or closed. Either way, the day of Jumu'ah is a day of Eid for the Muslims. The day of Jumu'ah, therein there are special a'mal, special practices that are sunnah, and every sunnah has its spiritual benefits, and via which we can be pulled towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and gain closeness to Him. And these sunnah are taking a bath, wearing fresh clothes, and applying itr, performing miswak, etc. So these are sunnah that still stand, whether you're to perform your Jumu'ah during these excusable and testing times or not. And besides this, the recitation of Surah Al-Kahf is highly recommended on the day of Jumu'ah. Whoever recites Surah Al-Kahf will have a nur from that Friday until the next. That person who recites Surah Al-Kahf every Friday is protected from fitan, and specifically from the fitna of Dajjal. That will be the greatest fitna ever to be faced by mankind. Aside from this, there is specific attention drawn towards the recitation of Durood Sharif by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فأكثروا علي من الصلاة فيه. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in a hadith on authority of Imam Nasa'i rahimahullah that recite abundantly upon me your salutations, Durood Sharif on the day of Jumu'ah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam generally with regards to Durood Sharif mentions that Man salla alayya wahidatan sallallahu alayhi biha ashara. Whoever recites Durood Salah, which is a dua of rahmati kamila, complete mercy upon our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, whoever does so once, Allah Azza wa Jal showers upon him 10 blessings. Now, even one blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be enough to fulfill one's needs of the dunya. Allah Azza wa Jal not once but multiplies and sends forth upon us 10 blessings. And the ulama ikram, some ulama mentioned that on the day of Jumu'ah this is multiplied to 70 times. 70 times. And the fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has encouraged us to recite abundantly the salawat, the durood on the day of Jumu'ah. The ulama ikram have stated that one should make it a practice, a routine, every Friday at the very least one should recite durood, salat wa salam upon our beloved Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam 300 times. 300 times the bare minimum, and the more one can do the better. And on this day, on the day of Friday, when one recites durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it reaches him immediately. There is a special angel at the Rawla, the grave, the blessed grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who conveys the salam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from each and every ummati that is sending salutations, salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the world. And above this, along with this, subhanallah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replies to each and everyone's salam. As well as this, whether that person is present or from a distant land. On top of this, it is mentioned in a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of creation, the creation that is the most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, makes dua and istighfar for the person who has sent the durood upon him. Subhanallah. If there is one, for me anyway, if there is one virtue that is enough, then this is the one. Attaining the du'as, the tawajjuh, and the istighfar of our beloved Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What more can one want? So these are the blessed a'mal of the day of Jumu'ah that one should recite abundantly: salawat, durood, recite Surah Al-Kahf, and adorn oneself according to within the proximity of the Sharia, wear one's best clothes, fresh clothes, clean clothes, take a bath, miswak, and apply itr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the sincere tawfiq to make the most of this day. And finally, there is a hadith on the authority of Sayyidina Abu Hurairah, which is posted as well, that whoever recites 80 times the following durood, the following salah upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while after Asr prayer staying seated and reciting Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad bil ummi wa ala alihi wa sallim taslima. Whoever recites this 80 times after Asr prayer while seated after the prayer, sitting after the prayer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive 80 years of sins from him and grant him the reward of 80 years of ibadah. And in a narration it is mentioned also that he is given elevation by 80 ranks. Subhanallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant me especially, as well as yourselves, the sincere tawfiq and ability to seize this opportunity and make the day of Friday a means of protection from calamities and fitan, and make this a day when we ask and beseech Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically for our needs of the dunya and the akhirah. There are times that on Friday where there is a great possibility of the acceptance of du'as between the two khutbahs, and then also the final hour of the day of Friday, after Asr prayer, between Asr and Maghrib, before Maghrib commences, is also a dua, a time of acceptance, the last third portion of the night. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to derive as much spiritual benefit as possible from this blessed day, and make it a means of us attaining closeness to our beloved Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and His beloved, our Master Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولكافة المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.